สวัสดีครับผมพีทนะครับเพื่อนๆสมาชิกวันนี้กีตาร์ไทยอินเตอร์วิว Channel นะครับวันนี้ผมมีโอกาสได้พาเพื่อนๆมาคุยกับคุณ Soren Andersen ครับ Hello Soren.
Hey Peter.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. I love Thailand. From Bangkok.
Okay. So we will start the interview with this question. You mainly play on the hard rock music.
Yeah.
What makes you fall in love with hard rock music?
Kiss and Deep Purple and AC/DC just ruled my world when I was a kid. I was really into that kind of classic rock. The raw energy around rock and roll is still what I think is very important. I also play, I have my guitar low and I floor it with my heavy strings. And I'm not a metal player. I'm not good at playing jazz, but I really like basic rock. That's very much my blood.
Okay, so in your opinion, what is the basic of rock technique that you keep practice?
Well, actually, a lot of people forgot that it's so important to work on your rhythm playing when you're a musician, when you're a guitar player, because 95% of the time as a rock musician, you play rhythm guitar. 5% is your solo. So I spent a lot of time when I was younger on really finding out how do I get that sound of
rock and roll,
big rock open tone. I mean, if I take a D chord and I play like that, then you get a very kind of 50s, 60s kind of
tone.
But if you want a big fat rock tone, you need to play it here. So that's just something I worked on to kind of, I play a G like this. Instead of doing, I play E like this. Instead of doing. So just to kind of really work on that big rock sound. And also my rhythm playing, I think a lot about the beat when I play a riff. It's really I'm a part of a band. That's so important for me.
So it's a rhythm playing.
Rhythm. Oh
and,
yeah.
And the tone, the sound.
Tone, yes. And really another thing which is a bit overlooked is a lot of guitar players forgot how important it is that your guitar is in tune. And sometimes it's just a small little thing, how hard you push the strings. Like just work on that so your power chords are totally
in tune.
All the time, they just have to be in tune, otherwise it's not rock and roll.
Okay. And about in hard rock and roll music, the vibrato also very important. So what is your vibrato?
I'm catched between two different camps when it comes to vibrato, because I really like that fast Paul Kossoff from Free, Angus Young, B.B. King, very fast vibrato. But then again, very slow. I like that too. So I don't know what to choose. So it's a mix of those. And then the third, which is the whammy one, which is like. So it depends on the type of music I'm playing. If we're playing like I might choose the fast one. But if it's a more heavy gig, like if I play with Mike Tramp and we were playing White Lion, I have to do the Beatle Brada kind of big screaming vibrato.
So
does that make sense?
Yes, so it depends on the music.
It depends on the music,
Okay.
It does,
And about the technique, rock technique, how do you practice left and right hand?
It's for sure, if I take 3 weeks off on vacation, I play like shit when I come home, because it's really it never ever stops.
So
about practicing, you have to keep your chops, have to keep it going. So I do a very simple one, which I pick up from Joe Satriani, which is that. See, I fucked it up a little, right? And then, of course, with my foot. It's a killer, but it's good.
Yeah.
The easy one is like.
The chromatic.
Everything I practice, I do it in time with a metronome or with my foot. But I got one theory which I picked up from Paul Gilbert because he is he must be the king of picking.
Yeah,
him and Nolan Bettencourt is just out of this world. And I just picked one thing up from him because he does a lot of string skipping and he does a lot of hammer-on and pull-offs. But even if he goes, he doesn't pick all the notes. But the pick is going up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
No matter if he picks the note or not. So it keeps it floating better when you go. I do not pick all the notes. I don't, but my hand is
moving, right?
It's going as I was picking all the notes.
Yeah. Also, it means you synchronize the right hand with the beat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And how do you approach the neck, the fingerboard, the all note on fingerboard?
You see, now I don't know the word in English because I was very young when I found out that.
Okay, you can show.
I can show you guys a G major scale.
Yeah.
It's also an A Dorian scale. And then when I was 14, I thought I invented it. I was like, wow! I invented something, and then I, later on find out, that's the whole scale system. Sorry. So I think a lot about that. Though I'm just a rock and roll player, I still think a lot about that. That's a Lydian, that's a Mixolydian, and then it's actually just a G. Okay, that makes it easier for me to kind of express myself. Another thing I use a lot is a G blues scale is not only here, it's also here, and here. Oops. Now it starts to think, and then I fuck up. You see, it's. I just have it in my blood that I know we have 5 G pentatonics, one for each note, and that makes it easier for me to go like. To use the whole fretboard instead of just play up here. I kind of go all over the neck.
Okay, and about pentatonic, I think most of the guitarists love pentatonic.
Oh yeah, love it.
And how to connect it and make it sound interesting. As everyone uses pentatonic, how to make it.
I would say again, it depends on the music style. If I'm playing, I kind of like just to stick to the. But chromatics are good. Stuff like that. Rocket Ford is a killer chromatic player. All those small bluesy, jazzy licks. I'm not a jazz player, but I studied a lot of music when I was younger. I spent so many. I didn't have any friends when I was 12 years old. I was just sitting home and trying to nail all genres. I was like, I want to sound like Scofield. I want to sound like Paul Gilbert. I want to sound like Hendrix. And then when I was 20, I was just like, it's over. It's enough. You cannot sound like everybody. So I finally found my own way to my own sound, but I really studied a lot of genres and a lot of guitar players, which is a very good advice for you guys. No matter what kind of music you play, there must be something in Kirk Hammett's way of using a Floyd Rose that you might use in a jazz context. You never know.
Okay, so all of them is music.
Sorry?
So all of them is music.
Yeah.
Okay, and you also play guitar and singing at the same time.
Yeah.
How to practice or how to make the song perfect?
Oh man. Well, right now I'm writing this instrumental album, which is something I had in my blood since I was very young, because I was you know, I was 15 when Satriani and Steve Vai came out. So that music was just like, wow. Just guitar, 50 minutes of guitar rock on one album. I was just like, whoa. So that kind of music is very much in my blood. But I got over it, you know, went into more songwriter, classic rock, Beatles, Hendrix, whatever. But it's two different ways of think music. Because when you sing, you have your voice. I'm not a great singer, but I'm a melody man. I really like. Here's a real nowhere man sitting in his nowhere land. I like melodies a lot, but I'm white to the bone. I do not have any black blood. I'm not bluesy at all in my voice. It's so white. But when I play, it gets a little bit more bluesy. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, but when I sing, I'm very much more a Beatle. When I play, I'm probably more Hendrix.
So it's like mixed.
Yeah, half the brain and the other half.
And how to combine those two styles together into a song?
I don't know. I'm still working on it.
So it just happened, right?
Yeah. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell, but but I really enjoy listening to Stevie Wonder. And I also enjoy listening to Beatles. Just because best of both worlds.
Yeah. Okay, and you also a composer, a guitarist, you know, a singer, a sound engineer, and also producer. Yeah. If you're looking to a piece of music in the different role, it is different. You have a different idea.
I think we all, no matter what instrument you play, I'm quite sure that we all hear the whole picture the first time. What is this? It's like food when you eat something. You're not searching for a specific taste in the food. You taste the whole meal, and then 5 minutes later you're like, I like that spicy. Whatever it is. I think it's the same thing with music. We're not like, oh, that's a great guitar, oh, that's a great drummer, oh, that's a great singer. You just listen to the whole picture, and then I want to hear it again, and then you start to go, wow, that's a cool riff, or that's a great guitar sound, or so. I think that the thing about me as a singer and a producer and a guitar player and actually a drummer as well and an engineer, it's just my disease. That's all. That's what I do. If it makes sense.
Yes, but the point is to see the big picture first.
I'm totally into the whole picture. Totally. That's my most important role in music.
Yeah, because many guitarists always, you know, fast forward the song to the solo part.
Yeah. When I was very young, I had that. But I'd rather just, you know, walk slow through life and just grab everything instead of run fast, you know.
Okay. And you also have a very nice studio. Yeah, the Medley studio,
right? Yeah, Medley in Copenhagen.
Yeah. And how to get a good guitar sound in the studio?
Electric?
Yes.
Oh, I have a couple of tricks.
Yeah.
But it changes every month. It's so stupid. And then, you know, then I find another microphone or a new preamp or a new way to do it. But at the moment, right now as we speak, I'm using a Neumann vocal microphone, just one, in front of a closed 4x12 or 2x12 cabinet. And I send in my assistant with plugs in the ears, and I'm in the control room. I'm playing my guitar loud, and he just move it slowly from, you know,
side to side
on the speaker to find. Oh, there it is. There is the sweet spot, and then leave it. Don't touch it. Yeah.
So that's
one way to do it. Another way, if you have a combo. The biggest difference between a combo and a closed cabinet is on a closed cabinet you got the full sound that way.
Yes.
On a combo,
it's open back.
A lot of music is going that way.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of tone and a lot of brightness that way, but all the low end is going that way. And a lot of engineers, they don't know it. So when they mic up an AC30, they just put a microphone in front of that speaker.
Oh, so you lost.
All they get is brightness, and all the low end is going back to the drummer. So the trick is put a microphone in the back.
Okay, at the back.
At the back of the cabinet, and reverse the face.
Oh,
that's very important.
Yes.
Because the speaker's going that way, and that microphone is picking it up that way, and that microphone is going that way as well. So those two microphones has to be in phase.
In phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
So reverse the phase on that one and just mix them
together.
50-50. Best.
So, but you didn't put the microphone at the center of the room to get the ambient.
I do that as well. Yeah. If the production needs it. Because if it's a big Katy Perry production, nobody gives a shit about my ambience microphone. But if it's a blues, rock, 2-guitar album, I really prefer to have an ambience microphone on everything. Because then you can pan the guitars hard, and you can take the two ambience and pan them different. So there's a little bit of that guitar in this ear on the ambience, and a little bit of that guitar in this ear on the ambience. So I'm a nerd. That's all
but it's nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. And if our member want to set up his own studio, do you have any suggestions on choosing? Choosing equipment.
Oh, it's a jungle. It's such a jungle. It's a big jungle. But don't spend too much money. Find the right piece of gear and just buy that one microphone and that one preamp.
Yeah.
And then you're good. Then maybe another one for vocal and a good compressor. Don't. I mean, you spend so much money on
the gear.
Wrong gear.
Yeah.
And the gear that works for your neighbors doesn't have to work for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I know thousands of engineers who can get a good guitar sound out of a 57.
Yeah.
I think it's almost impossible. I don't know how they do it. But so many good guys can do that. I prefer another microphone than a 57. Yeah.
Okay. And about the gear you use, both in studio and live? Guitar, amp, effect?
Yeah. Well, I'm totally a Marshall guy. I grew up with Marshall, and I like still the amps they do, and I have a close relationship with the company. Me and Paul Marshall are doing a lot together, so I'm a happy man about that. Guitars are, well, I have maybe 20 guitars at home, different Fender, Gibson, some weird Dan Electros and different guitars, but I met Yamaha in 2009, and since that meeting, I've been playing Yamaha. The guy Mark Kirkland, he showed me the SG-2000, and I was just totally blown away because it's a very beautiful and very nice instrument, and it covers so many different sounds because the pickups have the single coil split function, and fretboard is ebony, so it's just very hard wood.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely my favorite guitar. I got one black SG-2000 which I've been playing at for 4 years now, and I haven't used my brown SG-75 Gibson at all for 4 years. So that's my main guitar. And right now we are having fun with these new Yamaha Pacificas. This is not a very expensive guitar. It's a 400-pound guitar, which may sound like $600-700 guitar. But it's really proper Seymour Duncan pickups and Graphtec nut and Groover hardware. So it's an amazing instrument for that amount of money.
Yeah.
And I can really recommend it because it's not a Strat, it's not a Tele. I mean, if you're looking for a Gibson Les Paul, buy a Les Paul. If you want something else, something different than a Tele or Fender, I really think these new Pacificas are something new.
Yeah, it's original design of Yamaha, right?
It's an old 80s design that they kind of redid now, and there's a vintage vibe somewhere with that new scratch plate and the P90s. This is a weird one because we are experimenting a little at the moment with a Soren Andersen version of it. So far it's where we are. Seymour Duncan stacked pickups, so they sound like humbuckers. But if you roll off the volume, they get very single coilish.
Yeah. Okay, so that's guitar.
And when it comes to effects, I'm a TC Electronic fan. Totally, it's that's the best effects you can get. It's everything they do just works. So I can recommend TC very much.
And I saw you testing a lot of pedals, the effect in YouTube.
Yeah, TC Electronic is Danish, and I'm kind of the guinea pig. If you know what I mean. If they have a new pedal, they send it to me, and they're like, "Soren, what's your first impression?" And then I fool around with it, and I give them my honest opinion back, and go, "Hey, it's too slow, or it's too complicated." I mean, if you go a couple of years back, there were so many new TC pedals, and they were so, you know, there were so many features that everybody was like, "What the hell? It's a spaceship. I just need a pedal." So the new pedals are much more simple.
Okay, and when you got a new pedal, how did you test it? How did you
test it?
Yes. How did you experiment with it?
Just plug it in my amp, and just listen to it, record it maybe. I have my cabinet in another room and my head in my control room, so I can still, you know, tweak the amp and try different, you know, combination of drive and effects and stuff. So, yeah, so totally in studio, I am very much as I am at live, Marshall and TC. And then finally on the road, this is my new toy. This little GHR practicing amp. Sounds really amazing. Really, it's not just, you know, a small piece of, you know, low budget rehearsing amp. It sounds really good, and we even tried to mic it up in the studio. It sounds just killer. It's really. And I have it in my suitcase. I got a smaller one. The GHR 5 is a little bit smaller. Just fits my suitcase perfectly. So I have it in my hotel room.
Yeah, well, this one you can even record by the USB, right?
Yeah. Connect it, and Cubase can recognize it. And you can use it as an audio interface. So great piece of gear.
Okay. And about the pedal, do you use overdrive or this distortion pedal?
Yes, I do. It's again, this is a jungle, because there are thousands of good amps out there with multi-channel preamps, and Randall, where you can change the preamps. Laney, amazing. The new JVMs from Marshall. I just got that new Satriani signature amp. Holy diver! It's a great amp. It sounds really, really nice. But because I do so many fly-out gigs, which are maybe 5 shows in Brazil with Glenn Hughes, and we've done it a couple of times now. You email the management, management emailed the promoter. Soren Andersen would like to have 2 JCM 800 amps, and when I show up, there is one Laney 100 and there is a PV 5150, and you're like, okay. So I learned that I bring my own effects and my own overdrives and just plug into a clean channel. Then I'm good.
Okay, but some amp on the clean channel has a little problem with the overdrive. More if distortion, it had a problem. It sounds not as good at when you try that at home. Did you face this problem?
Yes, because what you mean is some of the clean channels.
Yes.
If you drive them too hard, they start to drive. That's what you mean. What I do on those amps with 3 or 4 different preamps, I just take the master all the way up, like all the way up, and then I bring down the gain level on the clean channel, so it starts to totally
clean,
and then find out how much gain I can add from my pedal, and then it kind of starts to work as a classic,
clean
Marshall in the head, clean, So that works for me.
Okay, and you talk about a gig with Glenn Hughes and also Mike Trump. Okay, can you share us experience working with those artists? Is the way they work different?
They are very different. Very. Glenn is totally soul, totally black. Mike is totally white. Totally. But they're both very nice guys, and let's be clear, they took me from an average guitar player from Copenhagen to the whole world, right? So it's been a great journey, and hopefully it will continue. To play with Glenn he's probably my favorite singer in the world, and I have him so loud in my monitor because I want to hear him. I'm actually enjoying Glenn Hughes every night. It's just so loud because his voice is so inspiring. And when I play with Glenn, I'm a little bit more free than when I play with Mike, because Mike has a certain box of music he hates and another box of music he likes. Glenn is a little bit more
open,
a little bit, and not good or bad. It's just that's just how it is. And I realized when I play with Glenn, I'm probably a little bit more me because it's Richard Blackmore, which was my first hero. So I mean stuff like Burn and stuff like Stormbringer. It's just so natural for me to play that kind of music. And then over to Mike Tramp. Sometimes he's like, "Hey son, we're going to Turkey," and these guys, they love White Lion. We have to play Wait, and I was like, "Sure, let's play Wait." And I've just listened to the track, and then we come to the guitar solo, and I was just like, "Mike, have you any idea about what Vito Bratta is doing?" And Mike's like, "Yeah, Soren, he was one of the most famous guitar players alive." So I started to work on that solo, which is, I mean, this will be embarrassing. Trust you guys.
Tapping.
Shit like that, and I was just totally like my pants down. I was like, "Mike, I have to play with 9 strings, and I have to have an EMG pickup, and I need to change my fucking, gauge and my action. So, what to do?" So we jammed the solo, and it doesn't feel right. So because I'm not that kind of player. So it's just like, "Sorry, Mike, it's not gonna happen." So the music I write with Mike is more AC/DC classic rock. But when it comes to White Lion, I have to confess, it's not me. I'm not there. Because Vito Bratta is really from another planet. Really. I mean,
he's my hero too.
Well, there you go. You probably play much better than me because it's another world. Totally.
Okay. And who's your most favorite guitarist or musician at the moment?
My heroes?
Yes. At the moment.
At the moment. Oh my God! I listen to Hendrix every day. Every day. Because he makes me happy, and he reminds me of that thing. He came out of nothing and just craned up everything and inserted a phosphate and just blowed everybody's head off, and that makes me feel good. But actually, in the bus from the hotel to the venue, I was listening to the new Mark Tremonti solo album. Because I think he's a great songwriter, and he's one of the new guys, and he also makes me feel comfortable because he's been in Creed, and he's still in Alter Bridge, and now it's time for him to do his own music, and I just like that. I like that thing, listening to his new shit. Slash, enjoy Slash a lot, but I always come back to Hendrix and Blackmore. We were by the pool, me and Mark from Yamaha, the other day. We were listening to Gary Moore, Victim of the Future and Corridors of Power, those 2 albums where Gary is 25 or even younger, and a white Strat and a orange distortion bass and a Marshall head, and he's just out of this world. Great guitar player. I love it. I love it. We were listening to Teenage Idol solo is just great. I grew up with that kind of music, and I still listen to it. It's like a big circle. You go through all these genres, all this kind of music, and then when you kind of home again, you're like, "Oh, I like
back
this.
To the root.
Sorry, I like Whitesnake. I just love it."
Okay, and what is the concept of your guitar playing the moment?
At the moment, just fit the picture. Back to where we started. Just fit the picture. And also, I just met Alex before. He's a hell of a shredder, He has a fucking great technique, and he has another way of tuning his guitar, and we just instantly starts to talk music. And what are you doing? And be open, because he might have something I could use. So we shared a couple of licks already, and he's totally different than me, and I just love it. Never ever try to compete your neighbors, never your friends, because human beings are so different. So big concept for me at the moment is really enjoy the other guys and be a part of it. A little gang of guitar players instead of fighting each other. We are one big family. You know, you're a player yourself, I know. And we already talked about gear.
Yes.
You guys out there know what I mean because it's it's something we should share.
Yeah.
All this music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And any project you're working on at the moment?
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm recording this instrumental album, which is, if you have asked me for like 2 years ago, Soren, would you ever record an instrumental album? I would have gone, no way. It's never going to happen. But I don't know how it came up, but I just felt that now I've done my vocal album. I've been on tour with Glenn Hughes. I'm working with Mike Tramp. What's still missing? Oh, when I was young, I was dreaming about being the next Satriani, or you know. I look in my songbook and I realized I actually had a lot of instrumental songs that I never recorded. So I just locked up the door to the studio one day and I was like, that's what I'm going to do for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to record a guitar album. Boom. So that's the project right now.
So we can keep update on your website.
Yeah. I will do a little studio report on my YouTube channel. And if you go to www.sorenandersen.net, there's a YouTube icon. Click on that, and you will see my videos. There's a couple of videos so far, but there will be much more where I will talk, more about how I record the guitars and film the actual recording sessions as well. So
I watched that. It's very useful.
I actually realized some of you guys enjoy it. So I was like, why not share a little bit of information?
Okay, last one.
Yes.
What is the most important thing that guitarists not pay attention to?
The most important thing for a guitar player not to pay attention to?
Yeah, they're not pay attention to, but they should.
They should. Oh my God. I'm still working on this, but I really admire a guy like Steve Ray Vaughan because he's just that thing. That's what he does. Even if he's on David Bowie's Let's Dance, you can just one note you can hear, that's Steve Ray Vaughan. One note from Lukather, that's Steve Lukather. It's if you on your journey as a musician, not even as a guitar player, not only as a guitar player, on your journey, when you find out, oh, I'm that kind of guy, just stay there. Really, just stay there and work your profile. Not only as a player, but also as the way you behave when you are, I could sit here now with a bottle of whiskey and be like that. But I am actually not interested in that. I'm interested in knowing you and knowing Bangkok and Thailand, right? So work on your profile. If you, I would look weird in a jazz band, right? But I look okay in a rock band. Just work on it. Find out what kind of soul, what kind of human being are you, and work on it. Because I absolutely love looking at Oasis and everybody's just shoegazing with sunglasses, and I love it because it works. The profile is so clear. I love it. Go to the NAMM show and see all these weird jazz musicians. They don't give a shit about how they look, but they play their asses off, and I love it. But I also love to go to House of Blues and see Steel Panther fully made up and with fucking hair and shit. So it works. They know what they're doing. Slash is the biggest icon since Hendrix, right?
Yes.
Maybe that hat is the trick for him. I'm just saying. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Thank you, Peter, very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you, Thailand.
โอเคก็วันนี้ก็หวังว่าคงจะสนุกกันนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวมารอดูว่ากีตาร์ไทยอินเตอร์วิวชาแนลจะพาเพื่อนๆไปคุยกับใครนะครับวันนี้ก็ต้องขอบคุณYamaha Beat Sport สาขาเอสพลานาดรัตนาธิเบศรมาณที่นี้ด้วยนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวเจอกัน
Alex and Jack. Well, to the thief. There is too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine. Plowmen dig my earth. No one will ever own on the line. Nobody of this world. Go ahead, Alex. No reason to get excited. The thief, he kindly spoke. There are many here among us who think that life was but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not a fake. So let us not talk falsely now, 'cause Jack, baby, it's getting late. Oh yeah. All along the watchtower, princess kept in view, where all the women who came and went, barefoot and serving soul, outside in the cold distance, the white cat didn't growl. Two riders were approaching, and the wind begins to howl. Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you very much for having us. What a great, great weekend. What a great week. Have a safe trip home. Peace and love. Are you ready, guys? 1, 2.